Alrighty, here we go. Alright, so I like the play, or like the pathing to get to here without being seen, and then to jump out right like that. That's great. Just keep in mind, um, or not keep in mind, but like when you shot into the deflect and then you immediately wraith, that was also good. But like you're invincible during wraith and you move very fast, so you have a lot of time to just like assess the situation, right? So you kind of just turned around and ran all the way back into like your like the hard back line, right? You're literally the farthest back on your team now, right? So just keep in mind that like you have time to turn around and be like, wow, my tank's just hard committed. I'm fine. I can now walk forward again, right? And yeah, just don't sit in the bubble so you can get healing, right? So just sit here, shoot the bubble, and then walk forward, right? Um, but like stay with like move with like the direction of your team, right? So your team's going forward, like you can go backward a little bit, and then just get ready to go forward again, right? So you kind of went so far back that you can't really get forward at all now, even if you wanted to. Like in order to get in, you now have to like teleport, right? And if you're just closer, you wouldn't have to. Yes, run at the tanks. They can't stop you. So be really careful going back in when you don't have Wraith, because your only escape now is teleport, right? So just it's much better to set up for the next fight as opposed to like trying to get maximum value, get like another like 10% ult, and risk dying for it, right? Because if they see you when you're backing up, they have a much better, clearer picture of where you're going to be for the next fight. Um, Whereas if you just backed off and just set up for the next fight, you'd not only have a likely have a better engage angle, you also like don't risk dying. Not really talk, not much to talk about here. Um, just again, this is kind of disorganized, but in more organized settings, where the enemy team is like taking clear paths and trying to get to your team or the point in like a more decisive fashion. You want to try and set up in like around corners or places where they'll walk past you, and then that gives you free access to their backline or like a couple really like meaty shots before you have to back out. So like this spot would be good if they, except for the fact that like they'll see you as they walk in. Generally speaking, it's very hard to hide in this corner. It's just not deep enough. Um, and you kind of want if you were to hide, like I don't know on this corner. This corner is still not very good either. And you sort of baited your Rhine. Your Rhine kind of telegraphed you were there. You just kind of stood there holding a shield. But if you were to hide, you want the enemy team to like um, I mean, they'll see you here, but you want to wait for them to like walk slightly past you, so that way you can like walk forward and hit their back line, right? Because as much as Reaper can bust tanks, he'd much rather kill supports, because he can do it very reliably, very safely. Where are you? There you are. All right. I don't know if you're one of those people who holds down mouse one when you're shooting, but especially with shotguns, you kind of just want to tap each shot, because that way you can be more deliberate with them. You just need to make sure like you hit the best shot you can, and like right there, it looked like you were just holding M1 and swinging your mouse around. Okay, they wasted beat for some reason. So if you see this happening, either try to intercept them, right? If they're going past you, right? Either intercept the people trying to help them out, right? The next people in line, or just teleport up there and try to help your team out directly, right? You don't want to back off as Reaper. You want to. There's generally not a lot of in between committing hard as Reaper and then wraithing out and wraithing out. Like you kind of only have two modes, right? You're hiding, slash hard committing, or you're running. And then getting set up for the next fight, the next re-engage. So like you'd be teleporting back to a high ground or something, or you know. So here, like because you can't fight anything, like this, you either need to be at the corner trying to catch the like intercept the reinforcements, or just teleport up and help your team. Either option's okay. Yeah, the only reason you get to shoot this Lucy at all and even threaten to kill is because he like runs into you, right? So if he didn't do that, like you wouldn't have this option, right? As opposed to just playing tighter to the corner and having the option to just like turn and shoot him, right? He's shooting you. Turn around. Okay. Yeah, you can hear him shooting from behind you. You can see the shots coming around. Just yeah. Listen to audio cues. Audio cues are really important in Overwatch, and you also react faster, just scientifically. But I wouldn't be mad actually if you ult him there if you weren't sure you could kill him in time. That was an enemy Genji just passed, by the way. This is not the spot to TP to. You want pretty much always want to TP to high ground if you have the choice, right? Either this high ground because there might be someone up here, or this high ground. But you want to get to high ground because especially when you have Death Blossom, because like walking in and Death Blossoming is really not very good. But being above them and dropping down and Death Blossoming, that is much better, right? So you pretty much always want to teleport high ground when you have the choice. Yeah, you can shoot that through the wall. Just solo her, just kill her. No. Okay, she's bad. Yeah. Don't be afraid to use your ult for solo kills. It's not actually a very good ult without setup. So if like it's a hectic situation, the fight's already breaking down, and you're not going to get a clean initiation with Death Blossom, just use it to kill somebody, anybody, right? So if you're not sure if it's a kill that like you can't definitely lock down without it, right? So like it's not like a total freebie. It's okay to use Death Blossom for it. I don't mind. So right now your team's effectively up enough that you probably shouldn't Death Blossom this guy. But honestly, if you Death Blossom this Lucio, I wouldn't care either, as long as you know he doesn't have boop. If he boops you away, then it's gonna be sad. Wait, he came back with no health. Monkey, yes, hunt the monkey. Wraith. Okay. Yeah, don't be stingy with Wraith. Don't like try to get insane maximum value. Like if you feel like you're gonna die at all, just Wraith. Don't take the risk. Dying is really bad in Overwatch. Oh no. Okay, this is a pretty good Death Blossom by the way. So this Lucio just booped. This Genji just dashed and deflected. Right. So this is actually a pretty good Death Blossom right here. You can maybe get 1 to 2 kills, and that's all you really need to get off Death Blossom. All right. Well, sometimes you just get nano boosted and you kill them all. Nice. But like, you can also do this a lot earlier because normally like, well, the diva will be better if you wait too long, right? If you get nanoed, the first thing any good diva will do is just look at you and get ready for like you to shoot somebody or Death Blossom, and they'll just DM you, and then you'll be very sad. So as soon as you see that moment where the Lucio uses boop and he's right in front of you, the Genji uses dash and deflect is right in front of you. They have no way to escape. Just ult, just kill them. Yeah. This is when I was talking about like just using your ult to look for opportunities to use it. Like you see the opportunity, it looks good, just use it, right? And you can evaluate later whether or not it was actually good. But what's more important is you make a decision, and then you can because that's something you can evaluate later. You can't actually evaluate a decision that you didn't make, right? Because it's kind of meaningless. And yeah, don't have to wait for the perfect opportunity. You don't have to wait for combos. Just use your ult. It'll be fine. All right, we'll get to next round. I think you said you struggled with the Bastion, so I'm going to try and find that. I don't really want to go through the whole VOD because there's a lot of VODs I need to get through. And generally speaking, the problems that like you have are generally pretty apparent from the start. This game is kind of a roll so far, though, so Okay, nice. They have the Bastion already. All right, you need to pick something and walk at it. It doesn't really matter what. So, so here they have the Sombra on your left or on your right. Sorry, their left. He was shooting you for free, right? You don't want to get shot at for free, so either run directly at her, which is a little risky, um, or you just like run this way and you sit here and you shoot them until the tanks come to chase you out, right? And you can just keep backing up. You don't even need to wraith necessarily because like tanks don't have burst damage, right? In particular, like the only burst damage they really have is like a Rhine charge. So as long as you don't get Rhine charged, um, then you can kind of do whatever you want on this side of the on this side of the fight, right? As long as you don't get like slept or something, and this way you can do to you what the Sombra's doing to your team, right? Where you just sit on the side of the fight and you shoot for free, right? If they make a mistake, like say for example, their supports try to walk in as their like tanks get aggressive because they're trying to do something, then you can just walk in and kill their backline for free, right? You basically require them to do something about you, right? And if they do commit resources to you, like for example, this Honor tries to run around the corner and sleep you, you can just wraith and run away, right? But you do need to do something. Yeah. Like, there's even a viable play to just like teleport into them. Although there is a Bastion in the back. Not sure what he's doing there, but so shooting Sombra at this range is really bad, and this Mercy had Discord on her and was getting shot by your team. So as soon as you just need to shoot at the Sombra enough to cancel hack. If you're not going to get hacked, you don't really care about her because you're never going to out trade her, and you can contribute damage to like no matter how little damage, at least you're contributing damage to something who your team is also like shooting, so they're more likely to die, right? So for Bastion, there's only two things. There's two main approaches to dealing with Bastion, like broadly. There's either spam him out, right? So if you just shoot at him with enough like long range stuff, eventually he has to move, right? Um, or you can rush him, right? So, um, or third option is if you don't have neither, but he's really far away, you can also like if you have point control, you can just sit on point and do nothing, right? Because eventually he has to come closer, right? Um, so all three are viable options. Um, you don't have the option of spamming him out because you're a Reaper. So you can either rush him. So like when he's distracted, you just like run at him, right? Just teleport on top of him, shoot him, blah blah blah, the usual. Um, or you can just sit on point and kill anyone who comes to point. Well, this Bastion is useless, right? And if the Bastion tries to walk forward, then you can consider rushing him because he has to like leave his position to do this, right? But right now his position is really conservative. He's close to teammates who are respawning, and he's not doing anything. So just leave him there, you know. All right, so you got to make a play happen, right? So you know where the Bastion is. You know he's sitting here, so he can't do anything, right? To like this side of the map, outside of like these narrow windows. So that's the case, and your team is fighting on this side. You want to at least try to help them, right? Because you have Wraith form, you can always get out. So you just want to walk forward and just like help this diva fight. Yeah, I mean, this diva probably should have backed out earlier, but like you're also like not doing anything. Um, but now that you're in a situation where they are dead, now hiding this corner is good because you might let them walk in and get a free kill, right? So now that they are dead, now that you haven't helped them out, so helping them out was definitely a mistake. But now that like um, they haven't been helped and they're dead, like this is the next best thing you can do. Just wait, just wait. You don't want to shoot divas. You want to shoot squishies, right? Diva has a lot of armor. She's not facing you, so you can't even headshot her. She has DM. She's just not going to die to you unless she makes a really big mistake. Um, and it's just a lot easier if you just kill her backline first and then go for her, right? You're going to get hacked here. You're so dead. Yeah, just have some patience and wait here for something to happen. Wait for the wait here. So if there's diva boosts in like this Mercy and the Sombra are going to follow her. They don't know you're here, right? So they're going to follow her. You get free shots. You'll probably kill the Mercy, right? Just wait. Just have some patience. The right opportunity will present itself. This is a very ambitious TP. Yeah. So generally speaking, unless you're, unless there's not a lot of great other places to take this TP to, you want to TP um places that aren't directly visible. Like TP is not really an engagement tool. It's like a map mobility tool, right? So, for example, uh, if if you don't want to TP to get close to them, you want to TP so you can get near them, right? Or you want to TP so you can get around them, right? So if you TP to like here, it's a different story because even if they see you, right now they have to split attention. They have to address multiple things at the same time. They have to worry about you while also worrying about the front line, right? If you TP here, now you have options, right? But because you TP'd right into the front line, you now have to fight or run with Wraith, right? And chances are you have to run. So now you've committed both your cooldowns. You get like maybe 3 shots in, and then you have to run, right? Whereas like if you TP here, you'd have better access to the backline. You also accomplish more just by like TPing, even if they see you. But you just need to emphasize, yeah. So TP is not a way to like just get yourself into the fight fast. TP is a way to like manipulate attention and like avoid like sightlines, right? Oh, you're hacked. You're so dead. Uh, you lived. Okay, well now you should be dead. No. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you've just done so little shooting that you just haven't even gotten your ult yet, right? Like you're the slowest charging ult on your team so far, and Reaper ult is like it's kind of on the pricey side, but like especially against people who aren't very good, um, and like these guys like aren't handling you very well. You're just kind of giving them easy like opportunities to handle you because like when you look at the fight, you TP'd at the front line. He had nano, you had to run away, and then he shatters, and you had to run away, and then you still died, right? And that was the entire extent of your fight. You didn't get to do anything else, right? So, and that's like how you build ult faster. It's just like putting yourself in situations where you get to do things, right? Where you get to shoot people. And if you never get to shoot them, right? Like if you spend all your time running away, it doesn't matter how much space you're making. You're not going to do much. Right, you hear Sombra on your right. At least, like, it doesn't really matter what's in front of you. Contribute to like dealing with the Sombra first, because again, they're not gonna take a fight here, right? Like the Rhine isn't gonna be running into this gap as the Sombra shows up, right? Chances are the Sombra's just trying to farm, so just make sure that like everybody's shooting the Sombra, get her out, like just um, help your teammates whenever possible, right? All right, Sombra's out, cool. All right, you're going along the right side. I like this. All right, I like this. It's still a lot better. If you have the chance though, try and TP on top of the elephant, right? It's just much harder for him to shoot you. Like again, always take high ground if you can. But I do like the fact that you TP behind him. That's just generally like better than like straight up TPing at him, right? And you kill immediately. You get hacked though. Like again, if you have any risk, like as soon as you get this kill, really like just immediately wraith. Just don't take the risk. Also, you keep running away from your Transcendence. I don't know if you realized. Alright, you probably didn't need this Death Blossom. I know why you Death Blossom, the Mercy was rezzing in front of you, but like, even if she gets the res off, it's not a big deal. Your team is like, has not lost anybody, and you're up 3 kills, right? Or I guess 2? No, the Bastion is dead. Okay, yeah, so you're up 3 kills, right? Not a big deal. Or like, even if someone died here or they got the res off, it's not like that concerning. Just like, yeah. Don't need ult here. Careful about pushing this angle, right? It's one thing to like hold down this area of the map, right? It's another to like actually like push into their space, right? So just be really careful about like this, because this is kind of high risk. Oh, you almost got hacked. That was close. Well, this is an incredible use of both of your time. Oh, I don't know if you heard her, but you ran into her. Oh, you got hacked. Oh no. Yeah, not much you can do there other than not get hacked in the first place, I guess. Second thing is, by the way, when you're sitting here, low health, and then you want to flank again, just keep in mind that the Sombra can see you the entire time. She can see like, anyone when they're below 50% health through walls. So if you come around the corner, expect the Sombra to be ready to deal with you, right? If she isn't, that's great. Free kills, right? You can do whatever you want. But if she is expecting you, like, just get ready to, like, run. And, like, Wraith away or something, right? Because it will happen. She will be ready for you the majority of the time. Yeah, so as Reaper, there's two main things you can do now that you don't have point control. One is either like sneak around and try and get on top of the Bastion, right? Or rush with your team, right? Um, and it kind of depends how much trust you have in your team to like set up the fight properly. In your average rank game, I would just flank. You just need to get in on the Bastion, right? All right, so if you get a chance where they don't see you like this, don't wiggle around all like make it like swing as far out as you can because now they will see you, right? So if you do see this, but they don't see you, just crouch, just keep going, right? Pretend they don't see you because they probably didn't see you, right? But if you just stand out here, eventually someone will see you if they're just vaguely paying attention to this area, which generally speaking someone should be. Um, so just like if you get the chance when they're not looking at you, just keep going, right? Just keep hiding. Like this is like a super telegraph TP. Like, do you see how much easier this is to see than like here? This is way harder to see because you're covered during the start of the TP, and the TP spot is behind them, right? Whereas here, they can actually see you start your TP, and the TP spot isn't like really that far behind them. It's like directly next to them, and the support will see it, right? And if they're vocal, they'll call it out. Oh, all right. Sometimes he just gets nanoed. It was a nice effort though. You just need to emphasize like going all the way around. It'll give you way more freebies than you'd think you would get normally. All right, let's go one more round. Sanctum is a little weird. It's kind of Boop City. Reaper's not exactly the best hero on it, but honestly, you can play whatever as long as you're good enough at it. Okay, so there's two ways to approach this map. One is to push through this side, and try to push into them, or try to take pillars. Right? Pillars is the more common one because it's elevated, and it's very hard to push into pillars. And then the team's smart. Because what ends up happening is if the enemy takes pillars and you try to push through this side, they'll see you going this way through the glass, and then they'll just walk their supports up through pillars onto your side, and then it's effectively the same thing. And then you have to rush onto pillars, and you can't hit their backline first. So it's really unfortunate. That said, that doesn't very generally happen a lot in ranked. So you can kind of do whatever you want. I know this is a quick play, which just means it's even less likely to happen. So if you just push through here, chances are you'll get an open look at their backline at some point. So I don't really mind this play. That said, like whatever you do, you need to do it with your team, or at least like have your team distract to some extent so you can get in. But yeah. Ooh, okay, never mind. That's not what I thought you were doing. Yeah, the point is not the play because again, we talked about how like they're running Bastion. They just won with Bastion. Chances are they're gonna run Bastion again. This is also like a sniper paradise. This map because like it's so open. Like it's like kind of a giant arena around the point, and everybody shoots. Like everybody from anywhere on the map can shoot into point. Right. So point is where you don't want to be most of the time. You take point like the reason why the other parts of the map are so important, like pillars for example, is because everything looks over the point. right? It's a big like killing floor, I guess, or not. I don't know what the term is. Kill zone, right? Everyone just like can shoot down into point. So you go to point when you've cleared everything else and you've wiped them already, right? Like you don't want to go to point unless you have to. So if you're a Reaper, you want to get close to them. You can't get close to them through point because everybody shoots onto point, right? So instead, you go around the side so you can flank, or you push pillars so you can get directly on top of them, right? But you never go directly through point unless your whole team is like rushing through point for some reason. Like you have a Ryan and a Lucio and like all that jazz, you know. But yeah, you just get poked. Now you're out of choices, and now you have to look. This is never what you want to have happen. So you get poked. You come around, and you're looking straight at a soldier and Bastion, looking more or less at you. Uh, this is just never gonna work, right? Yeah. So again, pick one side or the other. Doesn't really matter which one, because like again, if you make a decision, you can evaluate the decision. If you don't make a decision, like you kind of just default to going to point every time, or you default to going one side every time, then there's no you can't judge that because it's a habit now. It's no longer a decision, right? So just make a decision which side you want to go, and then we can talk about that afterward. All right, so you want to go right, and you realize, and then you run into their tanks, and it kind of sucks. You can't really push them. So now, if we're thinking more, we spend some time thinking about this. Then we want to we revise our thinking a bit and say, okay, it doesn't really matter which side we go anymore. But we can't walk through the tanks, right? So we can't walk through the tanks. We just need to ID which side the tanks are at and go the other way, right? So now we know the tanks are on right, or at least the Rhino is. So the thing is, okay, so here he might have overextended, so this is okay if you want to push this guy anyways. Just keep in mind that like, if we have the choice, like all else being equal, we don't want to go through the tanks. Yeah, even though like it looked like he was overextending, even though he got slept, even though he got dynamited, he just doesn't die, right? There's just too much pressure from the rest of his team. The Bastion, the Soldier, the Mercy. There's just too much pressure. You guys can't actually kill this guy. And the ball. Can't forget the ball. So now you go around left, which is fine. Just remember that like you need to do this like earlier. You don't want to like give them 10-15% for free before this. This is fine. Okay. So it's really unfortunate that the Bastion is actually paying attention to this like now. This Bastion's kind of smart. Okay, so you come back. Oh yes, I like it. So honestly, what you can do from here is like if you realize like if you like come out and you kill the Bastion and you see them all looking at you, what you can do is you back up over here, back into this room, and then teleport over here. Like wait for your teleport cooldown, then teleport, and then try and go spawn camp the Bastion. And chances are it'll work. like, um, but you can't get left behind, right? You need to live here because you finally got onto the map. So you just need to get away from the enemy team so you can stay on the map. You don't want to go have to like go back to team and redo this whole process of teleporting back over here, right? Yeah. So you die, and even if you hadn't died, you'd have to redo this whole process to get back, right? Oh, they rezzed. Still, it'd be better to be on the map than off the map. All right. They didn't see you. This is the optimal time to keep going. Don't fight the ball. You don't want to fight. You don't want to go through their tanks. Gotta remember that. Don't want to fight the tanks. All right. Your Zarya's calling you to go point. Don't follow Zarya. Point sucks. Especially when like I mean like you're gonna get to these doors, right? You're gonna get to these doors, and you're gonna realize that the Bastion can see both doors, and you guys can't shoot the Bastion back because you guys are Zarya and Reaper, and it's gonna be terrible. Yeah. So like I said, just go through here. Just keep going. Go all the way around if you have to. Whatever you need to do to get onto them without being seen. Yeah. So you get in and you're missing 180 health, right? Like this is not exactly the definition of like a good engage. Although no one shoots you. Okay, the soldier's trying to shoot you. So you get the Bastion, which is good. Yeah, don't panic with your aim. Just make sure all your shots hit. You don't need to like. You don't need to be particularly crazy with Reaper. You just need to make sure you hit your shots, right? Like it's if like if like you spend less time shooting, but more shots hit, that's good, right? It's okay to shoot slower. Just make sure you hit your shots. So I know why you wouldn't point, but remember that like the point is like very rarely where important people go. Like this is where the important people go. So you want to get here, right? When possible. Yeah, you really don't want to get trapped on point because you end up in situations like this where you straight up can't do anything, right? It's a disaster. No. Yeah, your team's all dead. That's never gonna work out. It's not like those aren't the heroes I can all just kill while living. Yeah. Oh, wait, never mind. Point was about a cap. It's fine. But yeah, a lot of it just comes down to like pathing. As Reaper, like the most important thing for you is pathing because like your aim requirements are loose. Um, you have a favorable matchup against pretty much anyone at close range. You just need to get there because you lack mobility and you lack like um, uh, yeah, you just lack a lot of mobility. So a lot of it just comes down to like how am I going to get close to them without them like blowing me the crap up before I even get there, right? So just really focus on that um, and think about like the map critically like that. Point is like the default of a lot of people, but point is terrible sometimes. On Shrine it was okay because point is high ground, right? So there's benefits of being on point. But remember that like you want to like set up on flanks when they're walking in, then you get to shoot them for free, right? Um, and you get free shots in the backline without having to do anything, right? That's the important thing. Because every time you have to teleport to go in, that's not terrible, but it's better if you're already there and waiting, right? Especially when you have control of the point already, you can set up your defense freely. Um, yeah. Point is not your friend typically. And yeah, so if you have any questions or anything I just said, feel free to let me know and ask. And yeah, that's all.